Hey, welcome to Backyard Grilling here on Nex-Tech Local 1, and today we're going to be making some Bourbon BBQ bacon meatloaf sandwiches. That's a mouthful. Say that 3 times really fast. Bourbon bacon, or is it bourbon barbecue? One of those two. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. So before we make the sandwich, we have to make the meatloaf. And meatloaf is one of those things there's tons of different recipes out there. If you go out on the internet and look, you'll find a lot of different kinds. There's some with bacon, some with cheese. Basically, it's meat with some breadcrumbs and some milk and some eggs, and you mix it together and make it into a loaf, and then you cook it for about an hour. But we're gonna go ahead and make my version of meatloaf, and then we're gonna cook it, and then we're gonna make our sandwiches out of it, which will include our bourbon barbecue sauce. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use bacon in my meatloaf. I know you find that as a huge surprise that I would use bacon in anything, but a lot of people actually take their bacon and they'll wrap it around their meatloaf when they're cooking it. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to cook it up on the grill first and then kind of mix it in with the meatloaf a little bit. So I know that it's not going to entirely cook if I do it that way. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and first put it on the grill and start to cook it up that way. We're just going to take our bacon and put it on the grill like we do with our bacon so many other times. But I'm going to save about 3 or 4 pieces of my bacon, and I'm going to put it into a cast iron skillet. And the reason I'm going to do that is for our onion. We're going to put an onion in our meatloaf. I don't know why, but when I cook with onions, I like them cooked first. And I know you're saying, well, it's going to cook in the meatloaf, but I like them sauteed first, just to give it a little bit more flavor. And then it's not so oniony too. So we'll get this put on the grill and get this started first. All right. And then we're going to take these remaining 2 pieces of bacon and we're going to put them into our cast iron skillet. And the reason why we're going to do that is because it'll start to put off a little bit of that bacon grease. And what better way to saute our onions than in a little bacon grease? So we'll put that down here out of the way. Now we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to cut up our onions. Change my cutting board here. And we're going to use about 2 tablespoons of onions. That's too hard to measure, so I'm going to shoot for about a half of an onion. So we've got just a regular yellow type onion here. I'm going to peel the outside layer off. The joy of cooking outside is you can just throw it on the ground. We're going to dice it up fairly small, just because I don't like a ton of big onions in my meatloaf. Like I said, we're going to look for about 2 tablespoons, or I'm going to shoot for a half of an onion. Dice these up pretty good. That actually looks like more than 2 tablespoons, but we're going to go with it because a lot of this will get cooked down anyway. So we're going to take our diced up onion and we're going to put it into our cast iron skillet with our bacon. Okay, so we're just going to start to let that brown up a little bit and that onion get a little bit translucent. Like I said, you don't have to do it this way. You could just put your onion straight into the mixture raw. But like I said, for some reason, I don't like that much. So, all right, now we're going to move on to the beef part or the meat part of the meatloaf. So what we're going to do is we're going to use about 2 pounds of just regular ground beef. This is basically just about 80-20. And this package is right at 2 pounds. So we're going to put that 2 pounds in there. Okay. And then we're going to use about, I'm going to say about 1/4 pound of sausage or ground pork. And this package here is about 1.25 pounds, so I'm going to take just a little bit of it and we're going to add that in there. Okay, now we're just going to mix this up, which is the fun part. All right, we don't want to forget when we make this, always put some salt and pepper in there because it just helps add the flavor. So we're going to pepper this up. And then some salt too. All right, now we're going to take an egg. So 1 egg. And then we're going to take about 1 cup to 3/4 cup of milk. And we're going to add it in there. Okay, use my spoon here. That's the bad thing about mixing this up on a cold day is it's cold outside. So the only other thing that we're going to do is we're going to add about 1 cup of breadcrumbs to this. And we're going to mix it all up really good. When it's all mixed up, then we'll add our bacon into here. And then also our onions and things. So tell you what, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to get this mixed up really good. I'm going to throw about 1 cup of breadcrumbs in here. And by the time we come back, hopefully our onions and stuff are ready to go. And we can start to make this into a loaf, so don't go away.
Some mobile phone providers think they can just take. They'll all take an arm and a leg for a new phone. Got it. And look out if you go over your data limit.
I didn't see that coming.
Unlimited data plans as low as $20 per line. Come into any of our stores for a free, upfront, and honest consultation about your data and wireless needs. Nex-Tech Wireless, the carrier you trust.
Your home's exterior is the best defense against harsh weather conditions. With insulated vinyl siding, energy-efficient windows, spray foam insulation, and metal roofing from AquaShield Roofing and Construction, you can protect your home from howling winds and ice-cold temperatures. Don't let Mother Nature interfere with the comfort of your home. Call or visit us online today for a free estimate. AquaShield Roofing and Construction. Our team is dedicated to your complete satisfaction.
Come on down to B's Bargains in Smith Center, Kansas. We got the deals.
We have a wide variety of inventory like soap, toiletries, toys, mini fridges, even kitchen tables.
Everything is new at B's Bargains, but it's all half the price. Yes, half price. That isn't just a good deal, that's a great deal.
And with new items daily, our inventory is constantly changing. That means new great deals are coming in by the truckload weekly.
B's Bargains in Smith Center. If you can't find a deal here, you can't find one anywhere.
Hey, welcome back to Backyard Grilling here on Nex-Tech Local 1, and we are making Bourbon BBQ bacon meatloaf. I had to stop and think about that because I didn't want to mix it around. So anyway, what we've done so far is we've got our mixture of meat together. We've got 2 pounds of beef, and we've got about 1/4 pound of ground pork or sausage in there to add a little bit of different flavors. And we've got 1 cup of breadcrumbs, about 1 cup of milk, some salt and pepper, And now we're about ready to get our bacon and stuff out here real quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna grab that out and just sit it here on my cutting board. Okay, and then also we have our onions in there that we kind of sauteed up and everything with the bacon. And what I'm going to do there is I'm going to put those into our meat mixture. And like I said, it calls for about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons. I used a half of onion. Once it cooked down, there was a lot less there than what we started with. So we kind of just cooked those and got a glaze going on with that bacon grease. So there's our onions. Put that back on the grill so it stays nice and warm. And then what we're going to do is we're not going to use all of our bacon. We're going to save some of our bacon to sprinkle on the sandwich when we're done. So we're just going to chop some of our bacon up here. And we're going to throw that into our mixture as well. We'll save a few pieces here for the final product for our sandwich. Let's kind of give it a little bit of a crunch factor in there. You can dice this up as small as you want or whatever. Okay, so there's our bacon. Don't want to leave any of that out. Bacon is gold here. So we're going to go ahead and mix this up. I'm just going to use my hands. And like I said, meatloaf can be done lots of different ways. We were talking during the break, some people use like stuffing mix, some people use crackers, some people put barbecue sauce, ketchup in their meatloaf mix at this point. I think you can do whatever you like the best. It's one of those things that as long as you have your basic, your egg, your binding stuff, your egg, your breadcrumbs, your milk, that kind of stuff, you know, you can do whatever you want. You can even make cupcakes with these, you know, put them in a cupcake tin and do some different things like that. So, you know, kind of the sky is the limit when it comes to meatloaf, but we're going to go ahead and kind of keep it somewhat traditional here. Move this stuff out of the way, and now we're going to make it into our loaf. And I've just got a regular aluminum pan here. Make sure we got all of our good stuff out of there. Okay. We're just going to make it into a loaf. About like so. I'm going to go ahead and rip these gloves off. I'm going to put a little bit more salt and pepper on the top. Just like so, and we're going to go ahead and put this on the grill. Okay, we're going to cook that for about an hour. We want to cook it until it gets about an internal temp of about 160 to 165 degrees. So we're going to let it go for about an hour. Now, real quick, before we go to break, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make our barbecue sauce that goes with this as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to add about a cup of your favorite barbecue sauce. Now, I won't say that this is my favorite, but it's the one I'm going to use. We're kind of looking for something that's got some sweetness to it. maybe, if we get it all out. And this is a KC-based barbecue sauce, so it's got some sweetness to it. And then this actual barbecue sauce has got a little bit of kick to it. So it'll be really good when we get it all cooked up and everything. So we're gonna get about a cup of barbecue sauce into our saucepan. Okay. Now then, the next thing that we're gonna add is a splash of water, about a third of a cup of water. There we go. And we can't forget our bourbon. We're gonna add about 3 to 4 tablespoons of bourbon to this. And then we're gonna cook this and, you know, kind of let it come to a boil, and that'll cook some of the alcohol out of this a little bit. But we're gonna go, it says 3 to 4. That means 4 to me. So we've got about 4 tablespoons of bourbon. We're gonna mix that up. Okay, we're gonna put this on the grill. We're gonna let this come to a boil, and then we're gonna take it off, and that'll start to cook some of that alcohol and stuff out. So we're gonna go ahead and put this back on the grill, let it boil. We're gonna let our meatloaf cook, and when we come back, we'll start to construct our sandwich, so don't go away.
Make a difficult choice an easy one with Cedar View Assisted Living's knowledgeable and caring staff. Your loved one will be professionally taken care of as they transition into their new community. With movies, holiday parties, planned exercises, and games, residents will have opportunities every day to enjoy their time at Cedar View. Multiple room styles are available, ensuring a just right fit for your loved one. Come see Cedar View Assisted Living for yourself next to Sternberg Museum. The care you need, the home you want.
Hi, I'm Deborah Anderson, the host of Local Flavor. It's a show where we get cooking with people who make great food and who love to share the tips and tricks that help us learn to make it ourselves. Whether it's sweets or savories, Local Flavor has something for everyone who likes to eat. You can find Local Flavor on Nex-Tech Local 1, nextech.com, or watch when it's convenient for you with video on demand.
Storage Solutions is invested in complete customer satisfaction. You can choose a drive-up unit or a climate-controlled unit. Plus, you can choose from storage units of all sizes to fit your inventory. And that's not all. They'll sign for your packages and deliver and unload them into your unit. Storage Solutions has been named in the top 100 U-Haul dealers 6 times. Rent a pickup, cargo van, or moving truck to keep your goods on the go. Remember, making moving and storing easy is Storage Solutions in Hayes and Victoria.
Hey, welcome back to Backyard Grilling here on Nex-Tech Local 1, and we are making Bourbon BBQ bacon meatloaf sandwiches. Got it right that time. So just a little bit of recap of what we did. We did our meatloaf. We had it on the grill for about, let's say about an hour. Put the internal temperature gauge in there. It read about 165 degrees. So I pulled it off, and I set it here on my table and just let it cool. And then what I've done is I've gone ahead and sliced it. And we're slicing it here so we can finish up our sandwich. You know, this would be the perfect leftover sandwich. You know, have this meatloaf in the fridge after a day or so. But now, we did our meatloaf. Back up here for just a sec. The reason it's called Bourbon BBQ bacon meatloaf sandwich is because if you remember, we did the bourbon and the barbecue sauce in the water, and we put it on and we let it boil. So what I did after that is when I took my meatloaf off, I got my old cast iron skillet out, and as you can see here, I put about a cup of that barbecue sauce in the bottom of this cast iron skillet. And I'll go ahead and we'll put a piece of our meatloaf in here. We just put it in there on top of that barbecue sauce, about like so. We'll go ahead and flip the ones that we have in here. And we're letting that cook in that barbecue sauce. And it's going to kind of get a glaze going, so it's going to start to thicken up. So we're gonna go ahead and get these going. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a piece of cheese on there. I cut some Munster cheese up, and then we're gonna use a piece of provolone because Aubrey likes provolone instead of the Munster. So we're gonna go ahead and put that on there as well. So we're gonna put this back in there. We're gonna let that cheese get melty and all gooey and yummy and stuff. We'll put that in there. We're gonna get our onion buns out. We're gonna put those on the grill so they start to get a little bit of toast on them. And then when that cheese gets all melted and everything, we're gonna take some of these crispy onions, and we're gonna, see, they're not just for green bean casserole. We're gonna take these crispy onions and we're gonna put them on top of that, and that's gonna finish off our sandwich. So, hey, let me look inside here real quick. It's gonna take a little bit of time for this cheese to melt, so don't go away. We're gonna take a real quick break, and we'll come back and we'll give this a shot. So don't leave.
Technology changes every day. Whether you want to keep up with the latest technology or master the gadgets you've already got, Nex-Tech University is here for you. Our experts will help you navigate the technology world, from business cloud computing to the iCloud, computer security, software, smartphones, and even must-have geek gifts. Nex-Tech's experts will share useful tips, tricks, and more to help with today's technology and keep you up to date on the hottest trends. Tune in to Nex-Tech University or Nex-Tech Local 1, YouTube, and Nex-Tech On Demand.
What a girl wants in her home kitchen. Ease of use, flexibility, fun, the latest kitchen design, Frigidaire professional real stainless steel for fewer finger smudges, a French door refrigerator, convection cooking, a quiet dishwasher. Have the staff at Genuine Appliance in Hayes demonstrate new Frigidaire professional appliances to find what you want. Genuine Appliance at 1224 East 27th in Hayes. Everything a girl wants.
Hey, welcome back to Backyard Grilling here on Nex-Tech Local 1, and we are making bourbon barbecue bacon meatloaf. We got our meatloaf sandwiches about ready to come out. We've got them cooking right now on our cast iron skillet in that bourbon barbecue sauce. So we'll go ahead and yank these out, and we will start to put together our sandwich. Okay, as you can see, that barbecue sauce has gotten really, really thick. So this is the one with the provolone. We'll go ahead and put this one on that one. And this was the one with the Munster cheese. Ooh, it's dripping. That's awesome. Put that one on this one here. Hot handle, kind of scoot this over to the side. Or here, let me make sure, we want to make sure the camera can see this really good. So then we'll take our sandwich, and we're going to take some of these crispy onions. And we're going to put them on top. Like so. Put our lid on. Tell you what, we'll give this a cut so you can see the inside of it. There we go. Meatloaf with bourbon barbecue sauce and some bacon and some onion straws and that provolone cheese. Perfect on a cold day. So, hey guys, if you like this, make sure you check other episodes out on YouTube. You can see us on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, all those great places. And come back and join us next time for another edition of Backyard Grilling. Thanks for coming.